Hi. My name is Cierra. This is Cierra Reads and Writes, and it is May 5th. This is just a quick April recap of what I read. Did I write? Things I read on Substack. Just a quick one. It's not going to be as long as my other ones. Let's just go ahead and start off with the books I read. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Storygraph app on my phone. In April, last month I read 7 books, starting at the beginning. I read The Secret World of Maggie Gray, the second book, First Family, Three Brothers, How to Be a Better Adult by Jackie I. I Live to Serve the Witch, also by her, The Scammer by Tiffany B. Jackson, and A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. So starting off with the first one. Well, first 3, I'm just gonna put it all together. But The Secret World of Maggie Gray was actually a book. I started it, I don't even remember, maybe 2 months ago. And I DNF'd it because I had no idea what was happening. I don't think I was in the headspace for it. So I re-listened to it because I get all my books from Libby. That's the main thing that I do. If I don't do Libby, I have the physical copy, or I have it on my Kindle. That's what I'm mainly focusing on. And it was really, really good. I literally was listening to the books while doing my color by number app on my iPad. And I would do that for 7 hours straight. I was enthralled. Okay. I was in the world. And honestly, I want more. And I actually posted this on Threads that I need more about Maggie Gray. Especially I need more about Asha than anything. And so with the last book being more about the world and the setup of everything, less about Maggie Gray herself. And I'm fine. I'm open to more, but I also want to focus on Asha because I feel like Asha's story is definitely not done. If you are familiar with the trilogy so far, then you know what I'm talking about. Asha's story is very fascinating, very interesting, very sad, very depressing. And literally, the fact that her entire education relied on this one man pissed me off. I said, ooh, this is going to irritate my soul. Because I could not stand that man. Okay, I forgot his name, but I couldn't stand him. I did not like him from beginning to end. I did not like him whatsoever. But I want to hear more about her story. I want to know more about just her people, the fact that she's the last of her people. I want to know more. I want to know more so freaking bad. The brothers was kind of interesting. In Three Brothers, I would say the third brother, I didn't care too much about him. At the beginning, I was like, what is going on with this? First 2 chapters, I was so confused. But I did like the fact that there is a rule within this book where the oracle, even if the oracle dies, the spirit does hop into another body. So the oracle never truly dies. So it's not oh my God, now we will never know what they knew or whatever, because that kind of stuff kind of gets on my nerves with books or even movie shows and TV, where it's kind of just oh, the person who knew everything is now dead. Now we don't know anything. And it's oh my God. It's there has to be some information somewhere. It can't all die with one person. I can't do it like that. But I did like that element of it. And that aspect of it was interesting. It's just the Three Brothers, I wasn't that gung-ho about. I really didn't care too much, to be honest. If anything, what was more interesting was about the sister and her situation with her family, plus her marriage. That type of situation, that was more intriguing than anything. Okay, let me just be completely honest here. That part was more fascinating and interesting than the Three Brothers. Not to say the Three Brothers was bad, but I'm just saying my attention was a little bit elsewhere. So at my ratings, I rated the first one 5 stars because absolutely perfect, phenomenal. Second one, The First Family, also 5 stars. And then the last one, which is The Three Brothers, that is 4.5 stars because it was so heavy on the brothers. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not feeling y'all like that, to be honest. I just wasn't. Moving on, How to Be a Better Adult by Jackie I. It is the first book in, I think she's going to be doing like a trilogy or a series, but it's the first book, and it follows our female main character Hope. She is working like a dead-end job. This company is complete shit. They have all these rules, and it's just dark, gloomy corporate America. It sucks ass, and she hates her job, and she is kind of a pushover. Like, she has a hard time speaking up for herself and standing up for herself, and so she finds a book, and it's called How to Be a Better Adult. And she is very much into self-help, but yet she doesn't take the actual information and uses it. And then as she's reading the book is like writing as she's reading it, so it's like really creepy and interesting. The thing is, this girl is so literal. She is so literal when it comes to what the tips are along the way in the book. Like, the first one is to punch fear in the face. So I was like, oh, okay, she's gonna go up to her boss. She's gonna start, like, you know, standing up for herself. It's gonna start being some fuck shit. It's gonna be interesting. This girl literally finds out that there is a wrestler named Fear, and she's like, I'm gonna punch him in the face. Girl, that's not what, I don't think that's what the book meant. She takes it so literal. Like, every single thing is so literal. And I found that funny and also slightly annoying, because I was just like, Hope, that's not what, that's not what it means for you. That's not what it means for you, babe. I don't know where you got that from, but that it doesn't correlate, okay? It doesn't work that way. But overall, it was a really cute story. I really, really liked it. Yeah, it was just very literal. A lot of parts, I'm just like, what? How did we, what? But then later on, like, the actual, like, literal part for one of the other tips does work in her favor, where she lives. I don't want to give it away. That part was interesting. And then later on, she just has a hard time standing up for herself. Even these little Girl Scouts are better at doing it for her than she is for doing it herself. I'm just like, Hope, you're draining me, girl. Like, I'm genuinely exhausted by the fact that you can't even stand up for yourself properly. You have 10-year-olds who are pretty much being like, yeah, my aunt is part of this company. Yeah, and you need to get your shit together. Like, and she just standing there like, yeah. Hope don't make me slap you. Like, one thing I will say about it. So I rated it 4.5 stars. Next up, I read I Live to Serve the Witch, also by Jackie I. And this one follows our female main character, Ceciline, and she actually serves this witch, and she does everything for her. She'll like take care of the cottage. She'll go tend to like the garden woods area where they have a lot of the different herbs and stuff that they need for potions and all that kind of stuff. And the witch leaves a lot of the time, so it's kind of like a Rapunzel type of situation. There's some other perspectives along the way, so there's like some other POVs and other stories that's going on at the same time. And at first I was like, what is happening? I'm confused. I had no idea like how it all like came together. I was just like, hold on, wait a minute. And the book is short too. The book was only like 300 pages max, not even 190 pages. I was like, how does this correlate? And so when ultimately everything comes together and certain characters meet each other and have these different experiences, I was like, oh, got it. And the twist was twisted. That it was a really good twist. It's just a really quick read. The twist was good. Part of one of the other characters' journeys when it comes to fleeing the witch, the situation that was going on, I did not expect that to be what I thought it was going to be. So that part was interesting. But overall, it was a really good book. I really liked it. just still at the beginning, I was like, I don't know how any of this correlates. So I need this to like, even though it's short, I was like, I needed to speed up a little bit faster because I have no idea how this over here connects to that all the way over there without like, it just wasn't, I wasn't sure. But it was a really good book. I rated it I rated 4 stars. Next up, I read The Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. I listened to this on Libby. It's about 9 hours long. And I didn't write a review on Storygraph because I gotta talk about this book. So this part may be a little bit longer just to talk about the book. I was gonna do a separate video. I might still, I don't know. I might just say everything I need to say here. But The Scammer follows our female main character. What is this girl's name? Jordan. So Jordan is ready to go to this HBCU, but she comes from a family that's very coon based. And so everyone's upset with her choosing to go to a HBCU. They're like, why the fuck would you want to do that? That's not where you're gonna do great. No, that's not what you're gonna do. You're supposed to be going to law school with all these other white people. That's where you're gonna succeed. That's where her parents are like. Like I said, her family is very coon based. Her parents are very much coons. Like, there's no other word around it. And so she goes to this HBCU, and there she is in her dorm with her friend. She meets her roommate. They become friends. And one of the roommates, I believe it was, one of the roommates, her brother comes into town and he needs a place to stay. And he ends up staying on the couch. For me, this book reminded me very much of the real life situation that happened at Sarah Lawrence College. If you are familiar with that, I actually watched the documentary over on Hulu. If you're familiar with it, or at least you know somebody who went to Sarah Lawrence College at the time of this incident that happened, then you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to give it away. But if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. It gave very much that. So I already knew what kind of twist was going to come at the end. I already knew it. Like, I already knew the correlation wasn't correlating. Like, but I will say the writing is very much like Tiffany D. Jackson. Always some fuck shit. Okay? She has you like in an emotional, mental state of like anguish, and at the same time you can't help but want to keep reading. Because you just want to know, even though you are traumatized along the way. Like, Devontae was gaslighting everybody. And he was also very much a hotep. Like, that's what he was giving. So do with that what you will. Okay? He was giving very much hotep vibes, and I was very unsettled because I was like, you're a hotep, but you're also giving the Sarah Lawrence situation that happened back in, like, I think it was like in 2009 or whatever, or something like that. So I was already uncomfortable. I already knew what was happening. I kind of got the gist of the story and what the hell was gonna go down. What else? The twist at the end. I did not like the twist. The twist at the end reminded me very much of the first book I read this year, which was, what's the name of that goddamn book? You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. That twist gave exactly the same twist as that, and I did not like it. It did not need that. If anything, the original way it was set up was fine. It didn't need that twist. It didn't. It was fine on its own like that, because there's some parts that did make me question why Jordan didn't do certain things or took a long time to make certain decisions. But still, it never really equated to that kind of twist for me. It just gave maybe she was literally brainwashed, because that's exactly what the fuck goes on in the book. So the twist wasn't fun. I didn't like that twist. Just saying. But overall, Tiffany D. Jackson always has you in a mental state. You're always emotionally fucked up. You're always mentally scarred. I feel like that's her specialty. And I have like not even like a love-hate relationship, but it's kind of, we have a toxic relationship because of that. Next up is A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. And this one follows our female main character who is back at home. What is this character's name? Sam. So Sam goes back home. I think she has like a break in between her job. She's like an anthropologist type job. She works more with insects than anything. So she goes back home and her mom is completely different than how she used to be. Her mom is thinner. There's crows all over the house, in front of the house. And things just feel off about her mom. Yeah. Here's the thing. This book wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't great. It was average at best. The thing is, the beginning, the first half of the book was very much giving a lot about insects, and I just didn't give a fuck about that. And that beginning made no sense with the rest of the book. It felt like two separate stories. Like, it didn't correlate whatsoever for me. Like, even when Sam, there's a scene where there are ladybugs, let's just say that, and she spends a considerable amount of time trying to tell the readers what kind of species these ladybugs are. Why does the fuck does it matter? I'm so confused. I'm so confused on why that matters at all. So therefore, I'm confused on how that makes sense. And then with the later half of the book, it was giving fantasy. So I was lost. Like, the second half of the book was more interesting than the beginning because I don't give a fuck about insects, okay? I'm the type of person where if an insect is in my house, it should not be in my house. Like, why are you in my space? Stay your ass outside. The only place where I do not kill a spider is by these bookshelves, because I just come over here, I turn the light, and I keep it pushing to my room. So the only way a spider can stay alive is if they are over here and they stay over here. But if I see you crawling to my room, you're dead. Like, so for Sam to like give all this information on insects, I was like, I don't care. I do not care. I do not care. The weirdness with her mom leading up was very interesting. I like that part of it. It just was too much about insects, too much about the fact that this is what she does and this is what she loves, what she does. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, but that's not the point of the story. The story is about a house with good bones. We're talking about the house, your mom being weird, and your grandma, pretty much. That's really what the story's about. It's not about these goddamn bugs and you asking about these bugs every 10 seconds. I don't give a fuck about that. Shut up. And then literally there was a twist in the middle between like the first half and the second half of like a certain character, and then like wizards and witches and stuff gets involved. And I was like, wait, hold on. What am I reading? So I was very confused. But that later half, with that twist in there, because at first that twist, I had to reread it. I said, hold on, wait a damn minute. I know damn well we didn't get from point A to point T. That's not how it works. So, yeah. But then with the ending, it made more sense. But it just felt like just two different books. It just didn't make sense to me. Like, yeah. And then the twist at the end. So it's like the twist of the middle, the fact that it's two different genres. And then the twist at the end. I was like, this is interesting. Like, there were parts of it that was interesting, but the beginning part just made no sense. So it's like if you break it up into chunks of like 1, 2, and 3, 2 and 3 made sense. Part 1 didn't make any sense. Like half of 2. I would say literally half of 2 made sense. So 1 part and like a quarter made sense. Like, that's how much. And the thing is, the book wasn't long, which is why I stuck it out, because I was just like, the book isn't long. Maybe it'll all make sense in the end. And then it just It just didn't. And it's labeled as a haunting, a Southern Gothic. I just finished another book that is a Gothic horror book. And that one was more of a Gothic book than this. I don't know what the fuck this was. This is not a Gothic book. The beginning kind of was, not the insect mess. I don't give a fuck about that. But the weirdness with her mom and her mom's like behavior shift and how she looked, and the weird vibes of the house and what Sam was experiencing, that was giving Gothic. And then the rest was fantasy. Like, I don't think it is labeled correctly. The genre is not labeled correctly. The book in general is just sloppy. It's messy how it's broken up like that. It's only 256 pages. And because of this, all of these reasons, I rated it 3.5 stars. Because I was just like, yeah, I'm just not... It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it just didn't correlate whatsoever with what the hell it was supposed to be. Okay, moving on from the books I read on Substack, I don't remember reading anything. If I did, I think I read like maybe like one post, maybe two. Let me go to my history, see if I remember correctly. I think I read Self-Love in Unexpected Places by Diary of a Good Girl. I think I read that last month. The post was back in February, but the thing is with Substack, if somebody just links it or if it just like pops up on your feed or whatever, then you could read posts from like months ago. So I believe I read that, I think I read that in April. So yeah, from the article, it was mainly about the writer's perspective of what she was going through in the situation where she lost her friend at a carnival, the emotions that she felt, and the kind of the fear and the anxiety that was bubbling up in this situation. And I thought it was really interesting of just how you can, in an immediate situation, what goes through your head and how you process it, and how that kind of just relates to your life in general and the impact it has on you. And it's just from a situation, just from a moment. And so I found that very interesting, and just like that quick realization, that quick reflection process, because I feel like as a spiritual person myself, there are times where it's like I need to sit and reflect. And a lot of times you don't need to just sit and reflect. Sometimes reflection just comes in the blink of an eye. Like, it comes really quickly. So I really liked this piece because of just like the immediate reflection and how the person was processing her emotions and everything. Another one I read was To the Women Who Should Have Been Sitting in 19A by 8 by 11. And this one, she tells the story of a man who was sitting next to her on the plane and how his partner was supposed to be sitting there, but she had passed. So they spent the flight him really sharing this information and her just taking in this information about their marriage, their life together, and what kind of person this woman was and how impactful the woman was on his life, and it had led to him making decisions to go travel in her memory, in her honor. So I thought that was really cute. I really, really liked it. That's all I read on Substack. I just didn't read much on Substack. Nothing like, I just didn't. Just simply put, I did write, I do not have my I don't have track bear on my phone, but I did write. So if you give me a second, because I am on my iPad, I'm going to come back and then I'm going to add up and see how much I wrote. All right, I'm back. So February, March, April. Okay. Oh, Lord. I can't count. So on the 7th, I wrote 1,792 words. On the 15th, I wrote a little bit over 1,000. On the 17th, I wrote 1,547. On the 21st, I read 800. I wrote 831, and on the 22nd, I wrote 1,233 words. And then on the 30th, that's when I wrote the most, and I wrote almost 3,000 words. So all in all, count that up, probably like over 10,000 words, something like that. Yeah, over 10,000 words, because the last time I finished writing in March, I was at 39K and I ended at 48K. So about like 11,000 words, a little bit more than that. I would say it was a pretty damn good writing month, to be honest. I was just trying to write more, because I'm just trying to get this draft done. So, which leads me into my future goals. Which is a very loose term for goals. But right now in May, I'm like, I want to go ahead and just start getting my drafts done. So then, like, as I get a draft done, then I can like plan posts and stuff, because I'm terrible at doing that. And with Instagram, I can never schedule the post anymore. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Instagram, but I'm gonna get it together, because I don't remember to post every day. I just don't. So I'm gonna need y'all to get that shit together for me. Thank you very much. But I need to like plan posts so I can post on social media, which is what I'm terrible at doing, is to remember to post, and also to remind people that I posted. I don't know. I just don't. I don't do it well. I just don't remember to. But my loose goal is to finish Ghost of You. This is like the millionth draft. I swear to God, I want to finish this draft this month. So literally, I actually broke it down by each week. So the first week, I'm working on beats like 8 and 9, and then like 10 and like 10 through 12, and then 13 and 14, and then 15, 16, whatever it was, the rest of it. So I broke that down for like the weeks so I can like hurry up and get this done. And I'm trying to limit each like group of beats depending on how many there are. So like with this one being 8 and 9, I would say roughly 2, max 3 chapters, nothing more. And then for the next one, it's going to be, what did I say, like 10 and 10 through 12, probably 4 chapters max. Split that up how I will, because I'm trying to move this along, okay, everybody? We got to finish this. We got to wrap this shit up, okay? And as I'm writing, I need to go back and create posts for my novella, so I can like post about it and hopefully get some beta readers. I'm still trying to figure that out. I've gotten some tips of beta readers and how to find them. My thing is, I don't post enough, so I don't think anybody cares to be a beta reader for me, because no one knows. So there goes my dilemma. But there's that situation that I'm always trying to navigate. So I really just need a post before I start asking for beta readers. So that's something I just have to work on myself, which is very daunting and very frustrating. I didn't apply for any competitions. I just didn't. I'm going to try to do some this month, maybe like 1 or 2, nothing too crazy. I'm trying to secure a new position because my job is almost over, because the school year, we literally have like 2 and like 4 days left of school. Not even 4 days, like 3 days or whatever. It's like, I don't know, Wednesday is the last day of school. So really, I'm trying to secure a new position, hopefully remote, because I am freaking exhausted. Maybe apply for a creative writing program, like a master's program, maybe not. If not this month, maybe next month. I don't know. Trying to figure it out. I did finally post my first, what's the freaking word? I forgot. I'll think of it at some point. I'll probably put it up here or something. My zine, my first zine. I published my first zine. I just put the images up on Substack. And so now I feel like I'm just in this phase of not like a rebrand, but like wanting to try like different things, like trying new intros, switching some editing stuff up. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. But I gotta go to work, or at least get ready to go to work. I'm already dressed and everything. I just gotta go, even though I just want to go to sleep because I feel sick. So, yeah. Well, that's all I have for this April recap. How was your April? Please let me know in the comments below. Books that you read, maybe things that you posted or read on Substack, which I did post a few things in April. I'll do a separate video on that. I want this video to be done. So until next time, stay magical. Bye.